Look at that. A Kennedy bill. A Kennedy bill. In a denomination of $11,110. Look at that. This was done on wood with latex and gunpowder. Let's zoom in on this a bit here. There's a lot of occult symbolism, because you know what? I like conspiracy. I think money is a conspiracy theory. When you look at it, it's just draped with so much weird symbolism, right? And we, the artists, we draw it. So this is my version of money. I put the conspiracy on it, and I'm gonna print a shitload of these. I'm gonna print a shitload of these, like I was a bank. Like I was a psyop. Like I was a bank psyop. Right? Issued by me. I mean, it's copyright. Actually, it's going to be issued in 2020 by Math. Hopefully I'll be around to see that. 2020. It's going to be another like Y2K. You know, 2001, 1984, 2020. Ooh, perfect vision. All the eyes on the pyramid. So, the only thing I'm going to do is In God We Trust. I got to put that in and do some more designs here, and then I'm going to finish his face with some more gunpowder. I made him a little fatter and older because I like to believe that the guy would never have gotten shot. The title is called Follow the Money, or In God We Trust, or Second Coming, or Feet, as in counterfeit, or Where's My Money? Where's my money? Fuck. It's a bill that he passed as well. He passed Bill 11110, Executive Order, which gave the United States President the authority to print money. So before that, it wasn't until 1912 the American people actually had the power to print their own money. The government of the United States had the power to print its own money. They passed an act called the Federal Reserve Act, 1913, before the Depression, which gave it to a central bank body and a private consortium of who? Aristocrats, oligarchs, and monarchs and viziers from Europe. Think they're going to let go of their real estate? They came from within through the money supply. 63, he knew shit was up. Listen to some of his speeches about the economy. It's still pertinent today. He passed an executive order without Senate, Congress, congressional approval, because you can pass a certain amount of executive bills, and this was one of them. It's a lateral power next to the Federal Reserve for the U.S. to actually take control of their money supply at any time in the event there's a fiscal collapse, or this fiction of a deficit, or the debt ceiling, which is basically 13% on every dollar these bankers print that are American notes. So he put, after he passed this bill, $4 billion worth of $20 notes into circulation. This little mofo, this guy right here. And on top of it, he backed each bill by silver. $20 notes backed by silver. Today, like an ounce of silver fluctuates between $18 and $22 an ounce. So how many ounces back in 63 to back each $20 note? It's a lot of silver in the vault. Or is it still in the vault? Can we open it up, Fed? Can we open up Fort Knox, see if the gold's still there? What about Fort Knox? You don't talk about that one anymore. They took your gold. It's not finished. I'm going to do some more little details here. All these little lines and everything. A little more gunpowder, and then I'm going to pour some kerosene on it and light it on fire for about a second and then put it out. That's money. So this guy was onto that. And if you listen to him on his phone calls with Bobby, these two, we're starting to figure out no one's listening to them. And they pretty much have to like fend for themselves. And a guy like that who's onto this, well, he can't be around for the moon landing if it's fake, because he'll expose that too. And then we get into the messy shit of his story as being phony, and the Earth isn't even a ball, because that's why they needed to go. They didn't have the event to get a picture of it as a ball until that time. So for thousands of years, it was pictures. Still is, but now they got the force of a mass media event in black and white, and they lost all the raw footage. Like they lost his brain. Yeah, the brain that got shot in public, broad daylight, like Christ. They lost his brain. You know, there's a couple bullet entry wounds on the skull, but to actually see if it came from different angles, meaning many shooters, you need the brain. Not just holes on a thin skull. You need the brain, so you can see the angle, the trajectory of several bullets, meaning, you know, Oswald was jumping from one area to the next in a matter of a split second. They lost his brain. They don't have his brain anymore. That's Exhibit A to this murder case. Then the Warren Commission is set up by Lyndon B. Johnson, who felt ashamed about his whole career and his legacy. Said it was a lie on his deathbed. Go ahead and look for that. See if you can find it. I'd be interested if it's still on the worldwide grid. They make a commission, and they put this guy Russell, who was in charge of the Senate. Russell's a pro-segregationist. He's a racist. You know, it was just a couple months before, a year before, you know, he's forcing the hand of George Wallace, the governor of Alabama, to let black people go get an education in university. And George Wallace is standing in the doorway at University of Alabama trying to prevent Negroes from going in to learn. Learn, you know, for the most part, white man bullshit, but, you know, learn nonetheless. He's blocking them. Kennedy sent in the National Guard. So then you're going to put a racist, pro-segregationist in charge of the investigation of his assassination? Sorry, conflict of interest and morality. I live in the Cold War. No, you still are in the Cold War. You never got out of it. You're back at it with Russia. And let me tell you something. One last thing. When you start hearing about complications in this hoax space station, the ISS, which never achieved putting cameras on the station to actually get the Earth in real time as a ball spinning, like they said they would in the spring of 2014. Fail. Epic fail, but you mediatize that like you mediatize Red Bull. Now, when they start having problems, like leaks and shit like that, when they're not even up there, then you know, shortly after, it's World War III. And you know why? Because we're forcing their hand. We're jumping their schedule. We're going to short circuit the whole thing and humiliate all of science as a Vatican cult. Nicholas Copernicus was a Jesuit priest. That's why that's there. And so was Georges Lemaitre, the Big Bang Theory. So all you atheists that cling to science and physics and Newton, well, Newton clings to priests.